Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. Just got off another really cool call with JC Height and Austin Armstrong. Some of you may have been on that. We were talking about AI and sales, so I didn't have time to do our normal 5-minute bumper, but we'll go ahead and give just about 60 seconds here for people to get logged in, and then we're going to dive in and start talking about this month's tool stack. And if you're new to us, what tool stack is basically I just dive on in and I start talking to you guys about what AI tools I'm using. That generally takes about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're going to open it up for some Q&A to round out the hour. So great opportunity to do that. I'm literally just going to share my screen and walk through the tools that I'm using on a day-to-day basis. And I've got a cool bonus for you guys today as well. Just for attending live, you'll get an access to that. So excited to dive in and share some of those tools. Again, I'm going to give you about 60 seconds. Well, we're probably down to about 20 now. Let me just bring up my chat window so I can see things, and then I will also bring up the list. And then I'm going to ask Sherry. I see Sherry's on with us. Sherry is one of our team and helps out with so many things. And Sherry's always got some good input. So let me bring her up on screen here a minute. Also want to let you guys know when we do Q&A, you'll want to raise your hand so I can see that you've raised your hand, and we'll go ahead and call on you when we get to that point in time. If your camera's on, like Sherry's is right now, I'll bring you up and spotlight you right on the call, just as we have here. If you don't want to be on camera, that's okay. Although we would love to see your smiling face. Just leave your camera off and then we won't do that. But Sherry is going to monitor the chat and do a great job there. Sherry, as you know, I so appreciate you joining in and doing that, as you always do such an amazing job. Any comments for people as we spend a fast hour here talking about AI tools and what we're doing, things like that?
Yeah, I would say that, well, first let me say I'm only going to be here for the first half hour because I'm picking up my laptop today.
I saw that.
Uh,
It's done now. Did I hear though they had to
yeah,
wipe it? Is that what I saw?
yeah,
That
it's it.
sucks.
Well, the downside is they had to wipe it, but the upside is I get it back. So, yay.
Yay. Yay.
So I will say if you're easily distracted, close the chat. The chat's always shared, so you don't miss anything if you're not paying attention to what's going on in there. You can turn off the notifications by clicking on that little up caret and uncheck show chat previews. That way, you're not distracted by chat at all. The information that Jonathan shares is more important than anything that's going on in chat, I promise you.
Well, and it's a good point. When we're done, we will post this replay. It will get posted, and it's going to get posted with the chat transcript and with the full transcript as well. We normally don't do any editing, but today, because I'm going to give a bonus to everybody who's here live, I'm going to edit out any links to the bonus that I'm going to give you guys, as that's going to be something for live members only or live participants only. Don't normally do that, but we're gonna drop a brand new GPT that I literally created on the call I was just on. It's really cool, and we're gonna share it with everybody who's here live. So,
Are you going
all
to do it
right,
at the end or the beginning?
well, let's get it out of the way. We can do it now. There's no problem with that. Let me go ahead and share my screen here a minute, and I'll show you what it does, and then we'll dive into again what I'm using. So like I said, I'm just going to share my screen. We don't get into a whole lot of pre stuff here. So what I'm going to share with you is, hang on, I have to find the GPT. Here we go. It's called Founders Favorites. Again, I'm going to put this in the chat. You guys are welcome to use this, and I'm going to show you what it does. Founders Favorites. Hang on if I can type it. If you guys took our engagement engine training, I've already posted it in the portal there. You'll find it, and it's available to our AI Mastermind members and AI insiders. But just because I'm having so much fun with it, I want to give it to you guys today here too. Again, I am going to edit this out of those. This is only for if you're here live. So this is really cool. If you guys, I'm always paying attention on social media as to what's working, what's not. How do you create engagement? One of the things that some of my peers are starting to do and having really good luck with is creating founder-based stories. These are especially good if you reach out to other business people, but you can use these in all kinds of different cases. Now, warning, this got created about 30 minutes ago while I was on a Zoom call. It has not been fully tested, so may have a bug occasionally. If it has it, just reload and try again. But take a look at it. What I want to show you is I created a post already on this in Facebook, and I love it. It's fun. Let me show it to you really quick. Basically, you go in and you can either share a story, you can tell it what you want to do, and it will do it. So I did one. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with KFC story and the fact that Colonel Sanders got turned down by like everybody in the world before he finally founded KFC. And this entire post, and it's long. Take a look at this thing. This is a long post. That entire thing was written by Founders Favorites just because I told it to write something about KFC. And then I actually used Google Gemini, one of the tools I'm going to talk to you about because I'm using Gemini like all day, every day now, to create this image and then Canva to put all this together. That entire post, by the way, took me about 2 minutes to put together. So hopefully that's a tool that you guys can use. KFC Heidi, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I don't know if you have those over in Denmark. Do you guys have Kentucky Fried Chicken in Denmark? I don't know. I've never been to Denmark, so I don't know if you do or not. But it's a story about him founding it. There you go. You do have it. There we go. So interesting story about that. Another way that you guys can, again, create content if you're looking to do that. But today we're talking about what's my tool stack. As you know, a lot of times it changes from month to month and I use different tools. So I'm literally going to go through the tabs that I've got open here and show you. My number one tool that I'm using right now is Gemini. I am using Gemini all the time. They just came out with version 3. 2.5 was great. 3.0 is even better. I will tell you, I prefer this to any other AI model that's out there right now as far as my day-to-day usage. I use this constantly. It creates amazing images. It creates amazing videos. You can create gems with it or like custom GPTs. Across the board, I love Gemini and I'm using it a lot. So if you're looking for one tool in November that we're using, and this was the same in October, although I'm using it even more in November, Gemini has been turned into my go-to AI. What does that mean about ChatGPT? Well, I just used ChatGPT more in the last 2 hours than I've probably used it in the last 2 weeks. Why? Because I actually created a new GPT. I love custom GPTs inside of ChatGPT, and I just created one. But I got to tell you, I'm rarely using ChatGPT anymore. It's not bad if you're using it and go, "Oh man, I need a different tool." No, don't freak out. It's still good, but it's and 5.1, by the way, that they released a week or two ago is better than 5. But I still prefer Gemini, hands down over it. So all things considered, I'm going to do that. About the only time I'm using ChatGPT now is for custom GPTs. And the reason is you can see here's Founders Favorites on a GPT. I also have Founders Favorites here inside, and I just have to rename it, same thing though, inside as a gem. The reason I shared with you the custom GPT and I didn't share the gem with you is that if I shared the gem with you, you could literally clone it and grab all of my IP behind it. It is not as secure. I do expect they're going to fix that at some point, but as of right now, gems are not very secure. So they're great to share like internally. They work incredibly well. They're very cool, and I use a lot of them, but you don't want to share them with anyone who might take your training data files or your custom instructions or anything like that because of the fact that they are not as secure as ChatGPT is. So those are the two main ones I use. By far and away, Gemini is outstripping ChatGPT. The next most common thing I'm using is Perplexity, and you can actually see I'm using the Comet browser from Perplexity right now. It is my default browser. I don't use Chrome. I don't use Firefox on a regular. I have them, but I don't use them regularly. Chrome is my default. I'm sorry, not Chrome. Comet is my default browser. And this is it. And then one of the things I like about it, I get to use Perplexity even more now. Perplexity being an amazing AI search engine because of the fact that when I open a new tab, it's right here. It's just right and ready to go. If you are familiar, they also, OpenAI recently came out with Atlas, ChatGPT Atlas. I'll fire that up here real quick. Atlas is not bad. If you have ChatGPT and you're not a paid subscriber and you want to figure out things, Atlas is really cool and not a bad solution. It's a little slower than Comet, so I'm not using it as much, But I would highly encourage you, if you're still using a basic Chrome or basic Firefox, take a look at Comet from Perplexity or Atlas from ChatGPT and consider using these browsers. Yes, Heidi mentioned most of them, or at least Atlas right now is Mac only, so that is a limitation, but really, really cool. Here's just an example of something that I used the other day. I needed to put together a post and some content for everything in our store. By the way, if you want any replays, they're all going on sale tomorrow night for Black Friday. So we have our link right here for Black Friday. And you can see I went over here and I said I wanted it to basically go through my website and figure out information that I needed for a post. These AI tools are tremendous for that purpose. These AI browsers, I should say, are tremendous for that purpose. Things that I'm generally using Comet instead. If I need to use it on any site, I can go up and click on Assistant and it pops open and finds things for me. One of the things I use it for a lot right now is when I need to pull information from Facebook. So let's just go find, for example, a post that's got a bunch of comments. If I can find one quick, I may or may not be able to. Let's see here real quick. I'll scroll. So here, all right, here's got 15 comments. Sometimes I'm using Facebook and I'm asking people questions. The other day I had one, we had almost 400 comments. I wanted those comments because it was about GHL or high level training and what people wanted to be trained on. And I had two choices. I could have had one of my staff take hours and go through and figure out what all the comments were, or I went in and I used the assistant. The neat thing about these AI assistants is they actually take over. Well, if you give them permission to it, it's not like they're bad. They take over your screen and can do things. So Facebook doesn't let me use any automations, but I can go into this post right here and take a look at all 15 comments, and I can scroll down to make sure they're all loaded. Oops, saying that was only most relevant. Let's do all of them. By the way, super important to scroll down to make sure they're all loaded. And then I can go, please review the comments on this Trust is the New Currency post and give me a bulleted list of each comment from anyone other than me. By the way, I'm Jonathan. So it is now going to go out and notice that blue bar comes up. It's actually taking over my screen. If you watch, it's going to scroll down this post and literally, hands-free guys, I'm not doing this. It's going to grab all of the comments out of this post. Not a big deal when there's only 15 of them. When there's 400, though, that's a massive deal. Notice how it's actually scrolling through. Again, my hands are up. I'm not doing this. It's navigating and doing this for me. This is great because while this is doing it, by the way, I can leave and go over to like one of my favorite tools like NotebookLM, which I'll talk to you about now while it's thinking. So NotebookLM is also one of the tools I use all the time and have been building out tons of notebooks. This is a Google product, by the way. You can access it for free or paid, but it's so cool. Here's an example of how I'm using NotebookLM. So I'm going to click into Founder Stories. So I just shared with you Founders principles, the custom GPT, Founders Favorites, but I don't necessarily know lots of stories about founders. And so what I did is I just went into NotebookLM and I created this new notebook. They've added deep research in here. And so I did a deep research search on company founders who have faced adversity or overcome issues that would be interesting and be inspirational stories. And I had it do deep research. It added like 100 entries in here. And now I can come in and I can reference things in here. And for example, give me a list of founders who have overcome hardships like economic shortfalls in order to build successful companies. I'd like to get a list of the founder and then a 2-sentence overview of how they've overcome their struggles. So I'm using this just like I would use Gemini or anything else, but Google Notebook is unique in that it's only going to be using the data that I uploaded. So very few hallucinations, if any. And you'll see here, it's now going to search all of this content that you see on the left-hand side and answer my question based upon the content that I've uploaded. So it's super, super cool for using things like that. By the way, while we're doing this, if you notice up top, my Facebook icons got glowing. Comet is still working in the background. to do that. In other words, it's still working on that project while I'm doing something. Now, for the first time in my 56 years, I'm able to do two things at once because I don't have to. I mean, I'm always bouncing around with my ADD, but I literally can do two things at once. And again, I'm using NotebookLM all the time. Here's a good example. So I could do a story on FedEx, Sarah Blakely, Walt Disney, J.K. Rowling. That's a great one, for example. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to grab this J.K. Rowling story. And by the way, everybody goes, what one tool? Guys, I don't use one tool. I use multiple tools. And here's a good example. I'm using NotebookLM to give me information that I need. I'm now going to pop over into Founders Favorites, and I'm literally going to paste in the story that I want it to talk about, J.K. Rowling, and how before her breakthrough, she struggled on welfare and things like that, and how I don't know if you knew this, the whole Harry Potter series was turned down by dozens of publishers before it was actually accepted. So I'm bouncing back and forth. I'm using information, resources that I got from Google Notebook LM and moving it over here. And notice Founders Favorites is now creating this. It's actually doing the research right now. It's going to extract the narrative elements here. And it's going to write this. We'll watch this for a moment. By the way, the whole time it's been working in the background on Facebook. It's done. While this is thinking, let's go back to Facebook. And oh my goodness, look what happened. While we were doing all that other stuff, here's the comments. I asked it for by person. And there you can see the individual information that came up about each one of those comments. Again, not a big deal when there's 15 comments. It's a massive deal when you're trying to do something and there's hundreds of comments or things like that. And that's just one of the many, many, many ways I use it. It's also great I use it all the time with my appointment scheduling and that. But again, I wanted to stress that it worked in the background. Notice while I've been doing that, this has still been working and it's now asked me for this follow-up. So I created Founders Favorites. Many of you guys know I'm Christian, and I sometimes like to do faith and inspirational posts. So I said, based on stories, I wanted to do either business and leadership or faith and inspiration. We'll make this one business. And now it's going to take this story of J.K. Rowling and actually create a post. Notice it did the research for me. It's now going to create this post. And again, I just want to center on the fact that I used multiple tools to do this. I used Google Notebook LM. Quick review if you're not familiar. Google Notebook LM basically allows you to create your own individual databases. Don't worry about database. Think of them as notebooks filled with the data that you want, either data you upload or data that you've researched. And then you can query that for anything you want. You also can do all kinds of really cool stuff with it, like creating infographics and mind maps and video overviews. I won't get into all of that right now. That's a separate training. But NotebookLM is a great repository when you're trying to gather data. It can also be something great to share with your team. So we have an upcoming training coming up in another 2 weeks, I think it is. Not next week, but the week after. That's what it is. Our next challenge training is going to be on NotebookLM Launch. It's called basically how to make money using Google Notebook LM. I've already given my team all of the information that I want about it. And this is a notebook that I've created and only shared with my team. It's got all of my research for the training done over here, all my ideas. You can see I've got things in here like, my trainer's playbook that I created. I've got information here on business problems. My team now can use this because I can share this with my team to gather background information, help create marketing copy and do things like that. So there's all kinds of cool things it can do based upon that and make things relevant. By the way, one of my cool features, since I see there's one here, let me share my screen and make sure I've shared it with sound. One of the things I love about Google's Notebook LM is its ability to take content and create short, engaging videos. I've been creating these like crazy. Didn't create this one, Sarah on my team did, but check this out. So I've created an interactive video based upon the content. We'll load this up. By the way, it's not going to be called Notebook LM for Cash. We changed the name, but that's all right. But this overview she did to give to our marketing team to explain what the training's going to be about.
What if I told you there's a massive hidden opportunity in AI that almost everybody is just completely missing? Let's get into it. Right now, most people are kind of distracted by all the novelty of AI, right? They're generating funny
So you can
images,
see
treating
it's
it like
kind
a
of like
toy.
creating a
But while they're
PowerPoint,
playing,
but I
a
didn't create the
real legitimate
PowerPoint, nor
business
did I do
opportunity
this
is just
voice. This
sitting
is
there,
all
hiding in
generated
plain sight.
from the content
And
that I
this slide
uploaded.
really shows the fork in the road. On one side, you have most people. They're just plain.
I won't play the whole thing for you, but that's just an example of the types of things that NotebookLM can do. And again, the cool thing is I'm able to constrain the data over here. So it's super, super cool. All right, so we've talked about Gemini, we've talked about ChatGPT, we've talked about NotebookLM. The other tool that I use all the time, and we talked about Perplexity, I forgot that. The other tool that I use all the time, I'm seeing if I have an open window, I do, is Manus. So I'm using Manus all the time to do all kinds of different things, from vibe coding web apps that I'm having a ton of fun doing that are also very useful, to helping me brainstorm. Here's an example. So last night, my wife and I were buying some new furniture off Facebook Marketplace. I know, super exciting, right? And she's like, Jonathan, you're done with work. You got to go drive me over to Pensacola. We got to pick up a leather chair. Now, I wasn't complaining because it was a leather chair for me, but I literally began having a discussion on my phone with Manus and talked to it while we were driving over to Pensacola. It did a bunch of research. You can see this is a long, ongoing thing. I talked to it most of the way to Pensacola. It did research and everything else. And it ended up coming back at the end of the day with all of the information that I shared over in this Google Notebook LM. All of this stuff over here all came from that discussion that I had with Manus. Basically used it as a brainstorming partner to plan out this next class that I'm doing. So again, just real practical ways that you can use it. I love Manus, and the thing I really like about Manus is the fact that Manus is agentic, meaning I can give Manus an outcome that I want to achieve, and it will go ahead and put together the tasks and then start executing on the tasks. Much like I gave Comet, the browser, access to my Facebook page, I can have Manus literally take over applications on my computer if I want. I can have it can do all kinds of things and create multiple step processes that will run in the background while I'm going and doing something else. So some really, really cool features there that, again, I use a lot, and again, I love them. From images, you guys know I love images. I use my Midjourney for most of my images. I do create some of them in Gemini now. The new Gemini Nano Banana is really, it's cool, but I still like Midjourney a little bit better. So I'm creating most of my images over in Midjourney and using that probably 95% of the time, and Nano Banana about 5% of the time. Where Nano Banana, and by the way, that is what they call their image tool, just in case you would go, Jonathan, where are you coming up with this? So let's take a look here. This is Gemini. When I click on create an image, notice the banana picture. It's literally Nano Banana. You can see right here, Nano Banana Pro is now available. That's what we're using. Here's something that's super, super cool though. Let's say I want to create an infographic for a presentation, for social media or whatever. I'm going to go back over to the founder stories that we had, and I'm going to grab this story about Walt Disney. And let's say I want to turn that into an infographic. I can just literally say infographic of, and I'll paste that in. So this will be Walt Disney early in his career. We'll see what happens. I'm going to send it. We'll watch this work. They're not perfect. Sometimes they need to be tweaked just a little bit, but the ability to take content and literally now create relevant infographics and images based on that, to me, is just stellar. Now, the other thing I want to remind people of, again, as we're going through, lots of times because of my ADD, I'm literally bouncing back and forth, much like I have on this call today, between different tools as I'm working. I'm not just sitting here generally waiting on things to happen. But here's an example. Let's see what we've got here a minute. If we can expand it, sometimes it expands, sometimes it doesn't. I found Nano Banana doesn't generally like to make the bigger version, so it's not going to. You'll have to zoom in on this a little bit. Hang on. So Walt Disney, set from setbacks to empire. Early career, closed bankruptcy animation company, lived in poverty, survived on dog food. Creative vision and persistence led him to the foundation of Disney, and he revolutionized animation and now has an enduring legacy. Not bad for literally just giving it a paragraph. I could now use this graphic anywhere that I wanted, although I probably wouldn't use it on Facebook because they'll get bent out of shape when they see Mickey Mouse on there. But other than that, I could use this anywhere that I want and create presentations, images, anything like that that I desire. So Google and Nano Banana is flipping great. So Cardwell, you pointed out something interesting that, sometimes the spelling's off. It does a really good job of it overall, but sometimes the spelling's off. When the spelling is off, I go in ahead and I go into Canva. See if I have one of these here. I don't think I do, but let's go ahead and load one up here a minute. So we'll take and make a new presentation. Well, here's one. I just posted this about poop posting. So as I was creating this blog post thing over here was misspelled. It wasn't right. Inside of Canva, if you click on an image, you can click on edit right here. And this is using AI, so it's still part of my AI tool stack. And I can go grab text. You do need the pro plan to do this. But now when I go through, notice how it's highlighted all these text areas. That means I can come into any one of these. These are imagery. And when I come in and say grab, it's actually going to grab that text and I can now edit that if I want to. Notice it made it just a little bit different, so I'd have to make it a little bit bigger, which I can do really easily. And I can make it, it's already bold, but I can now come in Cardwell and in fact, educational, this, I think that's spelled right, but I could literally change the spelling right there and make changes to it. I can even drag it around and move it if I want to. So if you run those images and you ever have spelling issues, go into Canva, load it up in Canva and use their text grab like that, and you can literally start changing things around and reformatting text. And it will grab all kinds of it. I mean, I can change value creation, any of this. I should like here, it looks like polished drafts. Hard to tell because it's a little blurry, but I could even get in and change those if I wanted. So again, just a quick little tool that can be super helpful if you want to get in and do that. So we've talked about Midjourney, we've talked about Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Manus. The one you didn't see me talk about very much was Claude. I love Claude. It's a great tool for writing, but Claude has a particular problem that I don't like, and that it seems to be that I start writing in Claude and it tells me that my chat threads are too long and I need to start again. Literally the other day, I uploaded a PDF to it to analyze, and I prompted it, and the first prompt it said, "This chat is too long. You'll have to start over." And I'm like, I can't start over. You haven't even responded to me yet. So what do I use when that happens? Because I do like it. What do I use? I use a tool called Typing Mind. Yeah, Jim, they keep saying they're going to redo Claude. Claude's great. It's not that it's a bad product. It's simply the fact that they don't let me use it enough. So this is Typing Mind, and Typing Mind is an interface. Doesn't look as nice as some of the others, but it gives me an interface.
Jonathan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's the first time. We try never to go over 3 in these. There we go. This is Typing Mind, and this is basically a shell that lets me access other AI tools. So if I go into a new chat here a minute, hang on. Oh, it's down here. There we go. Notice I have a lot of different models I can choose from. New Gemini or new ChatGPT, various Geminis, Claude. It's even got the brand new Opus 4.5 that I think just came out this morning or yesterday. I don't remember. I just saw it pop up. Lots of cool stuff. It's got the new Gemini is in there already. And you can see it's even got things, old models that you like. Have you ever wanted to use ChatGPT 3.5 just because it was really cheap and you could? You can actually use that here. And all of these models, and you can see models that you may have not used of regular, like Mistral, Sorcerer, and again, tons more. But the neat thing about this is if I want to use Claude, I can now get an unlimited usage of Claude without ever getting any errors. The only difference is I have to pay for my usage on it. But paying isn't really that expensive as a general point. Let's take a look here. I created a copywriting tool the other day. So let's take a look at the whole thing. We'll scroll all the way to the top. So this is a discussion I had. It looks like this was Gemini, but it could have been Claude. Wouldn't have mattered much. You can see I gave it my prompt, what I wanted. There's a lot of information in here. It's very long. It then did a lot of thinking, gave me information, recommended files. You can see this is a fairly long conversation. That entire conversation cost me just over 5 cents. Yes, 5 pennies that I had to pay. The neat thing is, if you're trying to do things, I don't need a ChatGPT or a Gemini or a Claude subscription to use things through Typing Mind. I just pay for the usage when I do it. And I can pick any model that I want and I go through. So I use this a lot for Claude in place of Claude, even though I still pay them my $20 a month, because again, they keep telling me that I've run out of usage. So those are some of the main tools that I'm using. The other tool that I use a ton that I want to just share with you, and I found this a little bit by example, is meeting notes. I take meeting notes regularly, have different AI note takers. And my favorite is Read.AI, but it's very closely followed by one that you may be surprised about, and that's Loom. Loom is a video recording tool that allows you to record videos, and I can put my face down on a video and things like that. It does a lot of other things. But when you upgrade to their AI tools, which are bundled in, it also includes meeting recording. And the thing that I love about this is the fact that you can see it's actually doing our training right here. Let me go ahead. I'll look at my unfiltered call the other day. So this was a 2-hour call that I had. I can click in here. Not only has it recorded all that for me, like Read.AI or anything else, but I can click on transcript. It's thinking at the moment, so something's thinking. It gets the transcript. It actually grabs the Zoom chat. It grabs everything I need. And this is hugely valuable if you do Zoom meetings, because now all of that information is here. Of course, I grabbed the one the transcript didn't work on. This is why I have multiple AI note takers, by the way, because sometimes different tools work at different levels. But if you've already have Loom, consider using the meeting note taker. It's really good, and it's included with some of their subscriptions. Other than that, I use Read.AI, and I use it a lot. And it's great to be able to go back, grab information, figure out what I want to do, essentially have an AI note taker that's there all the time. And then the last thing that I'll leave you with, I don't happen to have in front of me, it's charging in my bedroom right now, but I use what's called a limitless pendant. It's a little limitless pendant that clips on my shirt, and it's perfect for in-person meetings because it actually records those in-person discussions. So if I'm meeting, I see Alan up on the screen. If Alan and I are meeting in person, it literally will record, excuse me, hiccups, both sides of our conversation. And I can then pull all of that directly, the transcript and everything else, directly into AI and utilize it. And again, it is, I'll pull it up here on the side. Let's see, limitless. Hang on, I got to learn how to spell. Limitless AI. There we go. This is the pendant right here. This is what it looks like. If anybody's interested in that and you want, I do have a $40 coupon off. If anybody wants one, let me know and I can share the link. I don't generally share a lot of
You're not
affiliate links
sharing
on
your,
these.
Jonathan, you're not
Oh,
sharing your
that's
screen.
twice. Man, I love it. Thank you. Uh-oh. Hopefully I won't get to 3. There we go. Thank you, Heidi. So here is the limitless pendant right here. It's small, it's magnetic. They give you a little lanyard, or you can clip it like on the collar of your shirt or your blouse. Here's an example. You can see this lady's got it on her jacket lapel right there. Super easy. It looks like they're even on sale right now, which is even better. And like I said, I've got a coupon for $40 off. Let me find that for you really quick, and I will share that. I'll put that in the chat. All right, with that, that's kind of my AI tool. So let's open it up for Q&A. If you've got questions, go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll go ahead and talk about that. Let me grab that link real quick, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. Let me just really quickly grab my $40 off Limitless. Hang on here real quick. Limitless, and here it is. Doop. So Limitless discount. There we go. There's that code, Tom, for you. Morris wanted it as well. Aaron, there you go. You can click on that. It should save you, it's supposed to save you $40. All right. So time for Q&A. Deb, you've got your hand up. You can start. What's on your mind, Deb?
Hi, Jonathan. Great to see you.
You as
I
well.
love your stuff, as you know. Hey, I am in the process of moving
I
across the
heard.
country. It's exciting and scary at the same time. But now I'm considering all these new AI, and I'm getting served a ton of ads for like AI interior design and AI garden
Mm.
design and stuff like that. I'm wondering if you've used any of those or if you have any tools that you in that realm that you've done any testing on or anything like that. Or
It's
maybe if
funny you
anybody,
ask. I just had somebody this morning ask me for an AI interior design recommendation, and I had to probably for the first time in a year go, I don't know. I have never
yeah.
used one of those. Has anybody on the call ever used any of those? I'd love to hear if you guys have. Just put that in there. That'd be great. I have not, though. I apologize. Deb, I can't even
Oh,
make a
that's okay.
recommendation on any of those. I do know there's some out there, and I'll probably be looking at one as we just moved to Alabama, and so I'm getting excited to have a garden
Yeah.
again. And so I'll probably be figuring out what the seasons are here. They're a little different in Alabama than they were in Michigan. So we'll be figuring all that out and putting that in. But yeah, at the moment, I don't have anything to
Okay.
recommend for
Well,
that.
if you find anything, you know that I'm looking, and if I find anything, I know you're looking, and we'll figure something out along the way. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Morris just recommended something called Render, Rendr. You might want to give that a shot and see where it is. And Jan said that she used ChatGPT to plan her garden and it worked really well. Morris is in the interior design business, so since he recommended Render, Rendr, I would probably try that out because again, that's his business. So cool. Yeah, I like that. Mickey says I hear a problem to solve. Awesome. Randy, you're up next, sir. What's on your mind?
Hey, Jonathan, great to see you again.
You as well.
Question for you. I got a bunch of questions, but I'll just start with one and we can go from there. Your thoughts, have you between Manus and GenSpark?
I use them both. I'm a subscriber to both. I find Manus it gives me fewer issues than GenSpark does. GenSpark's not bad, but it consistently, for lack of a better description, doesn't. I don't want to say it underwhelms me because it's not like I've ever been disappointed in it, but
Mhm.
Manus continually is like, wow, I didn't think it would do that. That's cool. I don't know that GenSpark's ever done that. It works. It's a viable tool.
Okay.
Again, I do have a subscription to it because I keep playing around, and part of the benefit of my job is I can expense some of those because I need to test them out. So I mean, why not? But yeah, I definitely do not use it nearly as much. Maybe a couple times a month, as opposed to like Manus that I'm using. I think probably 10 to 12 times a day on average.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah. Good question. And it's a good thing to remind people of, this tool stack session that we do is about the tools I'm using. It doesn't mean these are the perfect tools for you. Everybody has unique needs. Just yesterday, somebody reached out and said, Jonathan, can you tell me what's the perfect AI tool for me? And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't know you very well, and I don't really know what you're trying to do with it. And just because I'm using a tool doesn't mean it's the perfect tool for you. I share this stuff because I want people to go, hey, kind of what am I finding useful and all that. But if you think GenSpark's better than Manus, I'm cool with that. No worries whatsoever. And I'm not, Randy, I know you didn't say that, but just for everybody on the call, just to keep that in mind. All right, Shannon, you are up next. What's on your mind?
I heard you guys when I was not paying attention, but
Oops, I just inadvertently muted you, I think. I was trying to lower your hand. Sorry about that. Start again.
I'll behave. Oh, okay. So I heard you talking about mostly a behave. I heard you guys talking about gardens. And so here's what I did last year for my garden. It was like last year in the spring, whatever college that you live near, that like we live near two colleges in Florida that have like a big ag,
Yeah.
like ag department, they always have a website. And so I gave that website to Manus and had him make me a bunch of resources because it was based
Oh,
off
what a
of my
great
local
idea.
everything. Yeah.
I love that
So
idea.
like the planting calendar, because I live in in a weird zone because I'm technically like I'm South Florida, but we're not. So because we're like straight out across from Lake Okeechobee. So sometimes we get the freezes, sometimes we don't. And so being able to put in my zip code with Manus and also the websites for the Florida ag colleges that were near us. And one of the there's like a big botanical gardens too. And so that like it gave me everything. And I could have made a GPT out of it, but instead I planted a garden. So
I
I
love
don't
it.
know.
What a great idea. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Very
thank
cool. Well,
you. I
thanks for
did have a
sharing
quick
that.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we were talking, whatever the trainings all blend together, but I'm pretty sure it was your micro app training yesterday. You were talking about paste really briefly.
Yeah.
And I've seen you mention it before. And the reason I don't have it yet is because there's a disconnect in my brain of how much work it's going to be to get it set up. So I need you to but I also really want it. Can you tell me, like, did you probably just set it up a little at a time, right? It wasn't super overwhelming.
Yeah, so people that are wondering, Paste is a clipboard management tool, and what I love about it is I can literally just do a hotkey and it brings up my clipboard, and I can select things off it. I can organize it. But you're absolutely right, Shannon. I didn't do anything to set it up other than install it, and it starts remembering everything. And then when I would save something to my
Oh,
clipboard, that I'm like, oh, I'm going to use that all the time, like my brand colors. I
okay.
then created a folder inside my clipboard manager for brand stuff, and they call it pinned. I pinned them into that board, and now anytime I want to go, what's our dark blue hex color? I literally can just click on it, double click on it and paste, and now it's in my clipboard, and I can use it wherever I need to. So it's really fast and efficient, and I've never
Okay.
actually done any setup per se.
Gotcha. Because I'm using Notes right now for like affiliate links and all those
Oh
different things. And
yeah.
when I want to save, it's it's such a pain in the neck because I never can find anything again, and it's not easy.
Well, and the other
So
thing
I
is
need to
Paste
do
has a
that.
search feature to it. So I use that all the time where you can then
Okay.
search and it will not only look for the text in the note that you saved, but you can label things if you want. So especially things that you
Right.
want to go to regularly. A good example is I save my perfect prompt framework and there people are asking me for it
Of
regularly.
course.
And it's not hard to get, but it's like, where am I going to put it? It's now in my Paste. I literally hit my hotkey, click on my AI prompts tab, and it's right there. I double click and it's now in my clipboard and I can paste it. So it takes something that would normally require me 30 seconds or more to go find and turns it into like a 3 second thing.
Awesome. No, that's perfect. Thank you so much. I'm
Hey,
Yeah,
gonna
and I
get
John,
that
think, I
one.
there's a
don't
lot
know,
of
but
questions. There's a
what
lot of
was it?
questions about that in the chat. What is the
Okay.
app called?
It's called Paste. Let's go find it here on my computer real quick. Hang
Oh, I
on.
started a movement.
That's all right. I don't have a link or anything for it, but let's find out here. Paste app. So here's what the icon looks like. It's an orange with a P, and it's pasteapp.io. I'll paste that in the chat.
Thank
I
you.
don't think of that as a
Oh, Heidi beat you
somebody
to it.
Heidi beat me to it.
Good
Thank you,
job,
Heidi.
Heidi.
I don't think of it as an AI tool, but it looks like for Black Friday it's 50% off. What does that mean? I don't know because I've literally been using it for years. So it's $30 a year if you buy an
Oh my
annual.
gosh.
How much is their lifetime? Man, I'm going to just do that because I pay for it every year. Wish I could have done that in the past. That's great. $90 for a lifetime license. Um,
That's
I
fantastic.
I love it. The other thing that's cool, Shannon, is it synchronizes between my MacBook, my iPad, and my iPhone. So I use it on all of those. So that means if I'm on my phone doing work, which I often am, I can literally go ahead and grab that super, super easily. So yeah, highly recommend it. It's a great tool. I know my wife
That's
uses it, I use
fantastic.
it, and we've used it for many, many years. So
Thank you so
thank you.
much. I'm glad the lifetime is worth it. I'm totally knowing that you use it. I know Joey uses it. I'm going in. Going in.
Yeah, and again, that does appear to be Mac based. So if you're PC based, you might have to look at something else. It just looks like it's all Mac based. If you're
That's okay for
PC
me.
based, I'm sorry. What can I say? Yeah, I know some people
More
love them.
choices. I know.
One day, many years ago, I was working on a Photoshop project and I spent 6 hours and then Photoshop crashed and wouldn't reload on the PC I was on and I lost all of that. It was happened to be billable work. And I'm like, this was almost 15 years ago. Yeah, that literally that day cost me like $700, $800 in lost time and billable. And I'm like, I just need to buy a Mac. And like them or love them or hate them, they do keep running forever and ever and ever. I
Do you
literally
know
just
what
gave,
the
yeah,
everyone has a moment, and this should be someone who should go do some advertising for Mac. But my moment was my both my boys were homeschooled, and they kept bringing me their dumb PC, like it's updating, it doesn't work, I can't use it. And I went, never mind. And I went and bought refurbished Macs, the old white ones, and they never
yes,
could tell me that again. Every day, it just worked. So
yeah.
that's what
Well, and
that
again,
was.
they do work. I literally just gave my oldest son, because he likes to play around with them, I literally just gave him like 6 old laptops from one of them was over 10 years old, and he's got them all running. He's got his kids now using them who are 8 and 3 with their own laptops to get the stuff that they want to do. And you know what? The great news is if my 3-year-old grandson decides to dump his Kool-Aid in it, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's worth like $50, but it runs. It
That's
runs
awesome.
and it keeps running. Yeah. So
I love it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Aaron,
Thank
you're up
you.
next. What's on your mind?
Yeah, hello. Um, so I'll give you my question and then give the quick context.
Okay, that'd be
Uh,
great.
so my question is, what would be like maybe your top 3 to 5 starting ways to really leverage the agentic feature in Manus?
Hmm.
And so the context would be like normal solopreneur slash entrepreneur activities, creating socials, posting socials, looking at notes, and kind of like parsing it outside of, we know we use NotebookLM to kind of look at research and intel. So really what's like some distinguished tasks that really are
Let's
a
just
good
go
place
take
to
a
get
look.
started?
Let's just go take a look at it. By the way, Manus does cost money to use. Be aware of that. My favorite tip to cost less money is you'll get this share Manus with a friend link. And just like I will with you, every time you get an opportunity, you let people know they can try Manus for free and give them that link. If you take a look, here's my credits. I've amassed over, and I've used a ton of them, but I've amassed well over 500,000 free credits. That's equivalent to about $4,500. What you see there, I mean, I've been hovering for a month or so around 450, and I use Manus every time I want without even thinking about it. Just I use it. The neat thing though about it is that Manus actually has unlimited free chat. Not agentic usage, but if you're just using the chat feature, it's free, which is really cool. So anyway, let's just take a look, Aaron, at the stuff I'm using it for, and I'll just see. So let's see, what did we use it for here? A this is the framework. Used it to research the framework for what I just shared on the founder story stuff. I found a bunch of posts and I went to and had Manus. I literally gave it access to my Facebook page, let it run in the background, and it went and grabbed like 100 of the posts that I wanted and then analyzed all those posts. Based on the analysis, it came up with what were the opportunities and designed a post framework. I then used this post framework and put that as some of the training documents inside the custom GPT. So that's an example. Here's stuff I did. I shared with you for my Google Notebook LM training that's coming up. This morning, we're teaching a class right now on how to use it to build micro apps. I literally built an app this morning in it to do that. By the way, I built this one on my phone literally this morning while I was drinking my morning coffee. This is an app I created yesterday, training outline for day 2 of the vibe coding, which is today. I'd made some changes based on what we did in day 1. So last night I had gave it my outline and said, can you update everything for day 2? And it did. I had to build another web app. Let's see, this was trying to see what this one was. Oh, I had done some research and I wanted it to write a blog post for me. So I literally gave it, I use it to write. I love ZimmWriter yet, but this one was very specific and it knows me really well. This was to come up with some copywriting strategies that I used both for social and another blog post. Here's a custom GPT that I did, and I did a walkthrough just testing it. I had it go out and test the GPT and make sure it was working for me the way I wanted it to. And then again, just kind of continuing on down. Those are the types of things I'm using it for on a pretty much regular basis to do. A lot of it is, Aaron, anytime I have something come up when I'm like, I'm going to have to scroll through a website and gather information, or I'm going to have to go to multiple disparate sites and gather that. I literally now just go to Manus and let it do it. And I tell it what I want done. And the neat thing is, I can give it like the 5 sites I want to look at and tell it, I need you to go to these sites. I need you to gather this information. I want you to follow links on that site that go to this type of thing. It's smart. It's not like having another employee. I don't want to say that, but it is like having a really smart intern that's sitting next to you all the time that can do stuff. And I say intern because a lot of time interns need just a little more guidance, but the fact that it does what you ask it to do and then it can do it in the background, to me is really where I get that massive value coming through, Aaron, because again, now for the first time in my 56 years, I can do 2 or 3 things at once because I can start a process going, that research, things like that, and just let it run in the background while I'm doing whatever it is that I wanted to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I guess it does better than like Perplexity for web crawls and stuff.
It depends on what you want to do. I mean, I still use Perplexity on a daily basis, but if I'm looking at doing an in-depth, especially if I'm planning on having it follow links. So one of the things that I love Manus for is doing competitive research, and I haven't done that in the last couple of days, so that's why none of that showed up. But it's great for competitor research because I can give it a competitor, and Perplexity will do some research but won't dig as deep. ChatGPT won't do hardly any research. In fact, last night I was having a discussion with it on the way back from Pensacola, and it was telling me how it had grabbed all this information, and I asked it for not anything terribly specific, but I knew was on one of the pages, and it's like, I didn't see that. And I'm like, you didn't look at the page, did you? And it finally came back. We were talking, by the way, and it came back and said, no, actually, I didn't go look at the page. I just told you I did. Like, okay, you're useless. So Manus does a great job of doing multi-step processes and following them. The difference is that Perplexity isn't agentic in and of itself. Manus is, and that means that Manus can follow and execute on multiple tasks in order and in succession until they're done. Perplexity is really good at doing like one thing, but not necessarily doing 10 things, if that makes sense, in succession.
Yeah, I'll have to play around with that. But yeah,
So
that makes
awesome.
sense.
Good question. Thank you for asking.
Thanks.
I appreciate it. All right. Next, it looks like we've got it Randy again. What's on your mind, sir?
Question for you, and this is a go high level question, is are you hosting the community and a lot of the things on Go High Level in the community forum? Is that where you're hosting everything?
Yeah, we use high level for all of our communities, starting late last year, early for this year. It was either like the last week of December, first week of January of this year that we moved all of our communities over to high level. So yeah, everything's done in high level now.
Okay, so all the emails we're getting, all the follow-ups, everything's kind of coming through Go High Level.
Yep. Yeah, so
All right.
we create automations and all that, and the marketing team puts them together, the reminders, all that, all of our newsletters, all of that's handled now through high level, and the automations make it easy because once we set that automation up, it just runs. So, for example, if you guys registered to be here, you'll likely get an email from us about our Black Friday sale and about things like that. That's all already preset. I've actually already looked at it, and my team's done it. They get all the credit. I just look at it and give them thumbs up. It's all set and ready to go based on timers and delays. And, we've even got stuff for Cyber Monday set up that, Black Friday's over Sunday night. Cyber Monday starts on Monday.
Yeah,
And it's already set up, queued, and ready to go. So nobody needs to get up at midnight to send that email. It's just going to fire at the appropriate time.
and we can stack. I watched your Go High Level review. We can stack your link with the Black Friday offer, correct?
Yeah, if you are interested in that, so I'll give you my link, and that gets you free access to all my trainings. Let me just find it here real quick. Oops, not got to type in the right thing. There we go. And then for Black Friday, and I think they've started it already, GHL. They've got killer discounts for like the first 3 months. If
Okay.
you buy like 50% off, and then you can go ahead. If you already have it, we'll talk about how you can get access to my training. But the only thing you can do is if you're upgrading, you can use my link and you can get 50% off the upgrade for the first 3 months if you
Yeah, I
want to
don't have it yet.
upgrade.
I don't have it yet, but
But
you got me convinced.
I've used it since 2021, and I honestly, losing it would be worse than probably losing AI tools for me because there's so much that it does in the background. It's unbelievable. So GHL, if you're wondering, is high level, and it's a marketing automation software, if you've got that. So Jen says, is there a reason we don't talk about FormWise? People just aren't asking about it. Still a good company, still like them. Just, yeah, if people don't have questions. One of the things we do is FormWise is a partner of ours. So we don't, I'm not out there necessarily trying to promote them on a day-to-day basis any more than I am high level, but high level, candidly, they pay me every month to be an endorsed provider for them. And I like their software. I mean, I'm not doing it because of that. I've used their software for the last 4+ years. And so there's only so much time in a day. And that's why. If you got questions about FormWise, though, ask. I have no issues with them. Javi and his team do a good job. All right, let's see what we've got next.
That's great,
Arnaud.
Jonathan. Thank you.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Thank you. Did I answer your question for you?
Yeah, you did. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Arnaud, you're up next. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, Jonathan, thank you again for the wonderful session. I have a little question about Gamma.ai because I used it when it came out and it
I
wasn't
should have
great. I
talked
saw
about.
you used it yesterday on MicroApp.
Yeah, I should have talked about that, and I totally forgot. Gamma is awesome. If you have to create presentations, it does some other things too, but if you have to create presentations, Gamma rocks. It saves me so much time. It's massive. So yeah, I create all my presentations for all my trainings in here. The beautiful thing is it does it via AI, so I can start off with an idea. Give you guys just a quick, simple example here. Let's go to Perplexity. I need to run a 15-minute webinar teaching people about the basics of using Midjourney and how to get started. Please give me a breakdown of 8 different topics that can translate into presentation slides for this training. All right, so I just picked Perplexity just because. We'll go ahead and use it. By the way, the other tool I'm using that I didn't talk about at all is one called, and I can never remember the name because it's brand new, called Whisper Flow. It's how I'm now doing all of my transcription, and I love it. It uses the typical transcription, but now goes in and fixes anything I do. So if I say ums or I change my mind or whatever. All right, so we've created an 8 slide thing for this webinar training. I'm not going to review it. I would normally if it was a training I was doing, but in this case, I just want to show you how it works. Whoops, let's just grab the whole thing, I guess. It's going to be difficult. There we go. I can
Yeah,
go
I've
over
heard
and
it's also very useful to do LinkedIn carousels.
oh yeah, it would be. You could do that really well. So when I create a new gamma, I'm going to just paste in my text here. We'll literally just paste it in. I can choose, again, social. You just pick social here, and I can then do LinkedIn carousels or whatever. I'll do a presentation just because it's easy and use it generate it from notes. Click through here real quick, and we'll do concise because we don't want too much. And we'll tell it we want it to do illustrations, and I'll generate just literally based upon that outline that I gave it. You'll see here in just a second, it'll start creating this live for me. And if you need to do presentations for internal or external or whatever, you can edit these, by the way, so it's very easy to edit them. I have not found any tool that makes it as easy to go ahead and get things set up. And it even, again, it's picking different layouts. It's adding images in for me. I can change, again, any of that I want along the way. But, your complete guide to getting started with Midjourney. It's AI-powered creation, Discord or web, no experience needed. You sign up, you join the server, you find your channel. It's actually even easier now because you don't need to do half of that with the website. And again, I would have normally went through this, but just a quick example of how easy it is to go ahead and create presentations with Gamma. You can also create LinkedIn socials and other things like that. So yeah, really, really pretty cool.
Can you create a
There.
template with it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, hey, use this color, this logo, and everything that I ask you to create?
Yeah. In fact, when I started it, I picked my template. The only thing it didn't do for some reason, it didn't put my logo in. So if I just go down here in the background, I can fix that really quickly and grab my theme logo, and boom, just like that, it's now added my logo
Okay.
on every slide. But yeah, this is actually using one when I set it up. I set up a template with my corporate colors and all that type of stuff. So pretty easy, pretty easy.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good. Thank you for asking. All right, Paul, you're up next, sir. What's on your mind?
Yeah, hey, Jonathan. I'm wondering what tool you would use for looking at competitors or your own YouTube channel to discover some frameworks and to also look for engagement and improvement of my channels. I got a client who's not getting the engagement that he's like, and he's wanting to put together a plan. And I thought this would be a great way to do that.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely do that. My first choice would be Manus because it can just literally take over and do multiple steps. My second choice would be ChatGPT's agent mode. But I have not been thrilled with agent mode as much. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not going to say it's terrible, but you ever rent a car and you rent a car and you go, okay, it was decent, but I like my car so much better.
Yeah.
Manus is like my car, and ChatGPT agent's kind of like that rental car that, okay, it kind of works, but I don't like it as well. And the reason I'd use one of those two is because both of them you can give that outcome to. You could literally go to the YouTube channel and go, this client of mine's been having issues with the following. I need you to analyze their channel and their competitive channel or competitors' channels and come back to me with a plan of what is it that we should be doing in order to increase viewership or increase watch time or whatever you're looking at. And both Manus and that would ChatGPT agent would do that well.
Mhm. Awesome. Hey, a reminder, remember Mary Weddock, who was up on stage with you at the boot
Yeah.
camp? Yeah, she's wondering if you can send her the intel that we gathered.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I have her email address. Can you have her email me? I don't know
Yeah.
if I have her email address. I know
Yep.
I sent it over to a couple people that were there, but I don't think I had her email, but I'd be happy to do it. Yeah.
Or you can just
So
send it to me. You have my email.
yeah, I can do that if you want, Paul. Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. I'll
Great.
find that deep
Jonathan's
research
the
and I'll send it over.
bomb.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
All
Yeah,
right.
we'll
Thanks.
do that. So yeah, if, Paul was at an event I was at. We did some research and shared some of that. Deb, you're back with us. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I have a GHL question, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
And
Yeah.
that is, that world is a little complicated because if you sign up with somebody and you're sort of live in their world and other people are training and teaching and offering snapshots and that kind of thing. So how can, if I'm already in a world that I don't necessarily want to leave, how can I still get the training from you without having to like switch people? Because switching
Yep.
people
No,
is
there's Well,
challenging.
there's really no reason to switch people. I mean, that's not necessary at all. So there's no problem with that. Our trainings are going to be available right now through the end of the year. We're giving them all away just as kind of promotional stuff, and then in the new year we're going to announce if you bought through our link, you continue to get them for free. If not, if you're an AI Insiders or Mastermind, you'll continue to get them for free, and
Okay.
then we'll have a really inexpensive subscription for people that are like, hey, I'm not with you, but I really would like your trainings. You'll be able to get
Yes.
access to all the trainings. So they will not be priced at our normal price. It'll be much less expensive than that. And then
Okay.
we're planning on doing probably 2 or 3 a month
Oh, great.
throughout, maybe even more. So I have a contract with High Level. I've got to have 30 of them out in 8 months. So
Okay, great.
yeah.
Okay, well, just to let you know, there are people like me out here that are not going to come under you.
Oh, which is
But
fine. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just too complicated at this point. So how can I see what you've already done? Because I know you had like a webinar, but I missed signing up for the webinar. So,
Yeah, if you just
and then
go
I
out to my
went to try
YouTube
to,
channel,
yeah,
it's
I think the video was taken down.
4 times.
Um,
So
okay, is it
I
back
learned
up?
that even when you have sample data, if it shows an email address, YouTube goes and they take the video down.
Oh,
So
okay.
we had to blank out every email that showed up, even those that weren't real, because
Uh,
they were like that's personal identifiable information. So it is back up. I
oh,
just
okay,
had to
great.
repost it again. Yeah, literally yesterday at my morning meeting, Sarah, my marketing manager, is like, they took the YouTube video down again. I'm like, what?
Okay,
And it
cool.
was yeah, so if you're ever sharing your screen, no matter what you do, don't have a screen up that has email addresses on it because YouTube is like, no way.
Got
And
it.
I'd done that multiple times through the training, so I kept missing them
Whoops.
when we were editing it. After, yeah, so it is up on YouTube, and everything we do through the end of the year will continue to be up there for free, trying
Okay,
to let people
great.
know what we're doing. Thanks, Deb. I
Awesome. Thanks.
appreciate it. All right, Mr. Mark, what's up, sir?
How are you today?
Blessed beyond measure, my friend. How about yourself?
I'm not too shabby myself, thanks. Hey,
Love to hear it.
this is not a sponsored question, but with all the holidays and everything coming up, what are your next trainings that you have coming up?
So then we have a training coming up next week about AI and video that Eve Whitaker is actually running. Eve has forgotten more about AI video than I've learned, so she's better to learn from than me when it comes to that. And then the week after that, I'm doing a training on how to make money with NotebookLM. There's a ton of things. Google just made some major updates to NotebookLM, and there's a ton of things that we can do to provide services, either as an agency like you have, Mark, as an add-on, or just as a side business. So tons of stuff there that we're going to be able to do, and so that's going to be the week after that. I know I don't remember what we're doing the following. We're taking a couple weeks off during December for Christmas, but not a lot. I think I'm running. Just look at my calendar real quick. I don't think I have plans for specifics as far as dates. Or dates I have. I don't know that I have things written in as to what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm doing the week of the 17th. I'm actually doing another video training for AI video with Ken Moskowitz. So you'll get two different views. You get Eve's view, you get Ken's view. Then I'm doing a normal express training the week of Christmas. We are doing a training, but I don't have a topic yet for that one. So the next ones I can tell you, Eve Whitaker teaching on AI video next week, and the week following has not been out yet. It'll come out next week for registration. Is going to be how to leverage NotebookLM to make money. So those will be the next ones.
Eve's awesome, so I'm going to take part in that one as well. Thanks
Yeah,
so much for updating.
She's very good at that. I've been dragging my feet on an AI video because it's not as easy as we want it to be, and Eve's really, really good at those, as you know.
Right.
All right, I'm going to do one more question since we're a couple minutes over time. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Just as a reminder, before I go to Deb, we will put the replay up on our Facebook page or Facebook group and our YouTube page. So that'll be up there. Deb, what can we do for you?
Yeah, one last question. So if we see it's a training with someone else, does that mean they're going to sell something in the video?
They shouldn't be set. No. So good question. And let me explain how we do that. So we do 3 different types of sessions that we do. We do a challenge training, which is going to be a 3-day training, 2 hours a day. Those are paid for, and in those you shouldn't be getting pitched anything. I will occasionally mention something if somebody asks about it, but I'm not, it's not there to be pitched. Same for our express trainings. Those are $10 and those run just for 2 hours. It's a single 2-hour session. Same thing, you won't be getting pitched on those. And then we run what we call Spark sessions. Those are free. There's no cost to join them. And when we have somebody else on, generally like I just did with Matt from ZimmWriter, then we're going to pitch you on that product when we're there. I just did one for webinar kit with Stefan as well. So those are ones when they're free. But my rule of thumb is if we are going to pitch you, we're not going to charge you to take the webinar. It's going to be free. And then our rule internally when we work with people like Stefan and Mark Zimmerman and all that is we tell them it's got to be 30 minutes of positive, or not positive, but of productive, valuable training, so that if you come to that webinar, you go, hey, at least I learned some good stuff about how to run webinars or how to do blogging or whatever the case is, and then we'll make the offer at the end. So if it's a Spark session with somebody else, if you see it, and we're starting to try to label them as Spark so people can know, one, it's free. Those are the only ones that you'll get a pitch from us on.
Okay, that's great. Because I think I was in another, like maybe the first one you did, and it ended up being the person ended up pitching, and the people in the audience were very upset. And
that was with So
it was super crazy.
Sometimes we do things that we think make sense and we don't. So that was with a friend of mine, Billy Sticker, and Billy's brilliant. And I thought, you know what? We have such good luck with paid trainings. We actually generally get more people to show up for paid stuff than free stuff. So I thought, let's make it $10, but we'll give everybody a coupon. We even put the coupon on the page. Use the coupon to get it for free. And I'm an idiot. I never imagined that we had over 100 people that registered and paid the $10. And I'm like, it's a hook. It's designed to get people to go, okay, we'll do this. And yeah, we had 100 people that paid. When we were doing that with Billy and the chat started erupting, and guys, this is just total transparency. I hope you know that's kind of who I am.
Well, and I don't mean to put you in the spot to talk about it.
I don't mind.
I'm just trying to identify.
This is good. This is good lesson.
I mean, the thing with Eve is.
This is good. Eve is a paid training. It's $97.
Okay,
you pay it. It's
perfect.
3 days. There's no pitch. It's just you.
Okay.
Now she'll talk to you about the tools she's using,
Then
but there's no
totally
pitch
fine.
to buy any of it.
That's totally fine.
There's no pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear about the tools, and I think
Hey,
most
Jonathan,
people
where
hear
can we
about
sign
it.
up for Eve's session?
It just launched today on the Facebook group. So if you look in the Facebook group, let me
Gotcha.
find the link for you a minute. I'll finish the rest of the story just because it's, again, we all make mistakes as we go through. And so what I had done, and I've known Billy Sticker for years, but he has a coaching program, and Billy's actually one of my coaches. I pay him. He's great. And I'm like, oh, this would be fantastic. Let's do this. And the problem is that we did that, and then he had an offer for his coaching program, and the chat started erupting about people, and you were there, Deb. They were not happy. I mean,
No.
and I'm like, literally, as I logged into that, I hadn't realized that anybody had actually paid for the training because I didn't think any, when we put a coupon there, I'm like, nobody's going to pay for the training, but they had. So we just went out, we refunded everybody their money. We told everybody, I'm sorry. And we probably burned a little goodwill there that we didn't mean to burn. But unfortunately, that was it. Morris, I can see, just pasted that link. Thank you, Morris, for pasting that very much. That was for Eve's training. So thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you handled it really well, Jonathan. But I just was trying to go, when I see these other people come, does that mean it's that, or does it mean it's like a hardcore training? And not only is it a money thing, but it's also a time thing,
Oh, with time,
right? Of
absolutely.
like having limited time of how to spend my time as well as my money. So that helps a ton to know that you're going to label them, and we'll be able to know that then.
Yeah. So if you
So
see it's a
thanks for
Spark,
that,
if it's a
Jonathan.
Spark
Yeah.
training, we're literally going to call it that. And there's another person, chances are we're going to be pitching you,
Yeah.
but it's
Okay.
not what we're not going to do. I went to an event recently and literally half the event I was at was them pitching from stage, and there wasn't any value when they do it. It's not that. We're
Yeah.
at least going to say, in order for giving you your time, let's teach you about whatever it is we're talking about.
Great.
Then here's a software package. The other thing you have my word on, we turn down literally 100 or more for every one that gets on,
Yeah.
because I only promote stuff that I believe in and where I know the people that we're talking about. So, I don't just take anybody that comes in and says, "Hey, I've got this tool I want you to promote." No, we don't do that. Just because I don't want to, I don't ever want you to get to using a tool that you then damages our reputation, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
exactly. No, by all means, you've handled it really well. And I just was seeking clarity because I
Oh, I'm
was
glad you did. I mean,
like
these are important things to
shy
ask
about
about.
that.
Never be shy about it because it's I want to be transparent. I want to answer those questions. We
Yeah,
want to make it easy. I want people to always know that you can trust in what I'm doing and that I'm going to be very transparent about that. Do we try to make money? Yes, we do. I got a
of
mortgage to pay
course you
like
do.
everybody else,
Yes.
but I always
Yep.
want it to be very clear how that works. So
Yep.
thank
No,
you
I
for asking,
appreciate that.
Deb.
Thanks so much.
All right. Everybody, thank you for joining me today. I love doing these sessions. We do these every month. Just look for the tool stack message every month. We do these, and we are going to see some of you in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes on our day 2 session of our vibe coding. And hopefully we'll see you guys there. The replay will be up shortly. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. And if I don't talk to you and you're US based, have an amazing and blessed Thanksgiving. Thanks, everybody.